We got the results, guys, and they may shock you. But one of these fertilizers didn't really work that great at all. The other 3 worked okay. And the reason they only worked okay, I believe, is that it's been raining for near a month straight, every day. The reason why we kind of know that it was the rain that sabotaged this whole thing is that we have 2 other tree tomatoes, which is what we use in our fertilizer experiment. And those 2 I left in pots and fertilized them there. And they're kind of under an overhang so they don't get wet. They did much better. Stick around to the end of the video. We're going to show you how well those did, which is going to shock you. Near double the size, alright? Just to give it away, but you still want to stick around to see it. Yeah, let's just get in one by one, kind of like we did the experiment during that Syntropic Food Forest update video you guys saw. So let's check out what happened over the past month and a half, starting with the worm castings, which was the loser. So here we have the tree tomato that was fertilized with worm castings only, and it really didn't do much. And I guess the reason I would say is that worm castings doesn't have much nitrogen, doesn't have much NPK or anything. Really, I think what people use it mostly for is to add microbes to the soil. So we have over there, I'm not really going to show you it, but a little experiment we did with tomatoes, and one of them got fertilizer and worm castings, and it did better. So worm castings plus some other type of fertilizer with, you know, good NPK ratio could actually benefit. So don't count out worm castings, even though this experiment kind of shows that it doesn't do much. One thing this did do though, which was helpful, is somewhat provide a control. Even though it wasn't a true control, this one didn't do much, so we know that the other ones actually did something because they look much better than this one. So it's kind of our control, sort of. It's still very yellow. It didn't grow much. Might have grown a little. But the one reason we really wanted to get this video done soon is because I do want to fertilize it again. But I didn't want to do that until we made this video to show the results. So the next one here in our fertilizer experiment was the urine mulch, and this one looks a little better. I mean, definitely the size is bigger. Definitely still not green though, probably due to all the rain, but it did grow some, so not bad. If you want to find out more about our urine mulch, we made a video and we're going to put it at the end of the video, so you can click right to that video after you're done watching this one, and you can check out how we make the urine mulch. This one is really great because it's free. So although it may not be the best, as you'll see, you go further down the line here, it was free and it did do something. So I'll give it a thumbs up. If you guys know what this plant smells like, put it down in the comments. It has a very odd smell. And it's kind of why I don't even like growing them, but the fruit is good, so it's kind of worth it. Just gotta get used to the smell. But it's it's very weird. Third one here is our chicken manure biochar, and we also made a video about this one. We'll link it at the end of this video in the cards there, so you can check it out. It'll be in the description also, so you can check out the description. Lots of good stuff in the description. What can we say about this one? It actually looks better than the previous 2 that you saw. It kind of goes in order from worst to best here. A little bit more green, there's more growth. Biochar is known for holding nutrients, so maybe with all that rain, you know, it was able to hold on to some of that nitrogen and save it here for the plant. I think over time what has happened too is this one has performed better. There was a time when the 3 of these, urine mulch, chicken manure, and the fish fertilizer, they were kind of tied, maybe at the 1 month mark. And then since then, the past like 2 weeks after that, they've kind of like separated a little bit. So that one kind of stopped growing. This one is still going, and that one is still going also. And Blue has just joined us. He loves when we video. He likes to be on the camera.
Hi, YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
No, I think now it'll start to green up now that the rain has stopped for the past couple days. That rain really was a pain.
Show me that leaf.
This one?
Yeah. Yellow. Has a twinge of yellow.
The cool thing about nitrogen, though, is it can move from one leaf to another. It is a mobile nutrient. So as these leaves die, the nitrogen will come out of them and into the new growth. So that's very cool stuff that I learned. So here's our last one, the winner of this experiment. It's definitely not the winner overall. The ones that won, we're going to show you later on in this video.
But they weren't part of the contest.
But they weren't part of this experiment, so this one gets the prize here. It's the winner, the fish hydrolysate and kelp. Now, one thing I can say is maybe the amounts of each have determined which one did better. So that is a factor. You could play around with these. This is the only one that cost us money, though. The others were free, so that's also a factor. You know, you get your money's worth with those, definitely, because they were free. This one, you do have to pay for. But the reason I think it did the best is simply because it was the highest in nitrogen. Obviously, it has bigger leaves, they're greener, there's more of them. You can't lose with some high nitrogen fertilizers. They're gonna grow your plants every time. Well, not every time, but in this case, yeah, it did. It worked. You can also make these things if you go harvest the fish and the kelp. So in that case, maybe it's free for you, but we did buy ours. So that concludes our experiment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got any questions about it, let us know. This is only the first part of the video. We are going to show you a little bit of what happened since we did our intervention, the spring intervention, very heavy prune to the whole orchard here. Pretty much a lot of things grew. Some still haven't yet, and maybe I want to show you guys that, get your input, see what maybe you guys think's going on with this tree. But for some reason, it's kind of the only one that hasn't showed any response to what we've done, and I'm a little bit worried about it. Still giving it time. Like I said, the rain has really been messing things up here, so maybe it'll start to grow once it starts to be less rainy here. Just a little update on the rest of the orchard, because it is growing so quickly here. It's May now, spring. Things are growing really fast here. The crotalaria is high. We've already had to prune it away from the trees. It's already growing into them. Some stuff like the Mexican sunflower is getting really tall. So I didn't plan on this, but I think I'm gonna go in here this week and do a little bit more pruning and stuff, just to get everything down again, kind of reset it once more before summer. Get a lot of flowers coming. We got a lot of new leaves growing here. This is the only tree that really hasn't responded to anything that I've done, and I've probably done the most to it. So I don't think it's a fertilizer issue. I've thrown everything at this. You know, the fish hydrolysate, chicken manure, mulch urine, everything, other mulch. So I don't think it's a nitrogen issue, even though, you know, we're not getting green leaves, there's no growth. Something else, maybe like low oxygen in the soil. It could be a muddier spot. This one is it's in the corner. It's not in any of the rows. It was kind of planted by itself. I think what I might have done is just dump a pile of soil here on top of the existing soil that was there, which is just a very mucky, muddy, organic, composty, mucky soil. It's like very low oxygen in it, so it's not aerobic. So the roots might be in that and getting rotted, especially with all the rain. May not be doing great. Other thing I could think of, possibly the pH balance is off. I'm actually just asking you guys for help. Maybe you guys know you've had a tree like this, you have more experience. I mean, I have seen trees yellow like this that have greened up and grown after like all the rain has stopped. So I'm thinking that's what it is, but if you guys got any other ideas, let me know. Love to hear your opinions. Other than that though, it's really looking great here. The crotalaria is really growing. We got the Mexican sunflower really taking off. I'm definitely gonna have to get in here this week and do like kind of a lighter prune, not like a major. It's been less than 2 months. Things have grown so much that I have to come back in and prune again. I thought I'd be doing every 3 months, but evidently in the summer, you gotta do probably every 2 months. Get in here and do a little pruning. These ones were fertilized. Give me. Smell. Smell. These are the ones that we left in pots for a month longer than the ones in the back. And the growth here is very noticeable. It's much bigger. These got fertilized with the urine mulch in pots. They stayed there for a month longer. And you could see the difference. They weren't in the rain every day. They were able to absorb that fertilizer. Very green, the leaves. We got new leaves coming up. These are doing very well. I suppose this is what they're supposed to look like. Only fertilized with urine mulch too. That's all I've put here. So kind of the same thing as what we did back there. Only difference, these got less rain because they were in pots.
You have to show that you're walking.
We were looking a little bit more at the situation back there in the citrus orchard. I think I'm gonna hold off a couple weeks before I prune. Let me know by liking this video that that's something you want to see, and I'll make that happen. I'll do another video, show you guys what I'm doing in there. If I don't get a lot of likes, I'm probably not gonna show you. I'm just gonna do it behind the scenes, and then you guys will have to wait for the next intervention, which will be a summer one. But if you guys really want to see this midterm intervention, this lighter prune, I'll show you, but I need the thumbs up. So moral of the story, worm castings is not a fertilizer. Although it may be beneficial to your soil, don't expect some big growth to happen. That's what I'm getting from this. But you guys let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. You guys use worm castings? Do they work much differently for you? I'd love to know. It's still something that I do use everywhere, but as something to get the trees going or plants, I don't think I'm going to use it for that, but it'll be still something I incorporate in soil mixes and stuff like that. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think of this whole experiment.
Wow.
Gonna be a lot of fruit in there, Mila.
Right.
A lot of mountain apples.
Oh, sorry.